Yeah, rain's definitely going to be in the forecast, Robbie, for the day today. At least starting off today, if you want to get outside, really not too bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, you step outside right now, it's just fine. So you might want to do your exercising now or your run or whatever because the rain's going to come later this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult even during the evening if you're a night person to get out and exercise. So I would recommend the next couple hours because that rain's getting closer and closer with the way things are standing right now. In fact, going over towards far western Pima County, you can see that rain's now out of Yuma and starting to make its way into Pima County at the moment. But at least early today, the heaviest rain is going to be approaching Phoenix a little bit earlier than, say, Tucson. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Phoenix is just a little bit further on over towards the west than Tucson. But we still have our good rain chances here, likely starting around 9 or 10 o'clock up until about the early afternoon. Then we're going to see a slight break before that second line, which at the moment is closer towards Los Angeles and San Diego, eventually moves our direction. But this first line is going to be moving in relatively quickly. And the first thing I think you're going to notice is heavy rain. And then during the afternoon and the evening, that's going to be when thunderstorms are possible out there. Now, we're not looking at severe weather. We're not going to be seeing any kind of real heavy pockets of rain staying over one spot for too long to cause any kind of flash flooding. But still, isolated pockets of heavy rain that move, and also looking at some stronger winds. Those are going to be your two main impacts for the day today. And all this is going to be wrapped up by tomorrow afternoon. And I do think rain chances for tomorrow, as you're going to see in just a second, are going to be quite a bit lower. And when it comes to snow, it's only really going to be for the mountaintops across southern Arizona. So here comes that line. As it gets closer, you're going to see it starting to really move into a spot like Tucson around 9 or 10 o'clock. Still looking at the heavier rain, though, closer you get towards Phoenix. And I do think by about, say, 1, 2, 3 o'clock is going to be a slight break, but strong wind is something we can see during that time. During the evening, I am expecting more rain than what's projected right here, and maybe even a couple thunderstorms for those of you that don't necessarily have the rain in the earlier part of the day. Now, I do want to get back and talk about the winds for a second, because during that break around 1 to 3, spots like Tucson could have wind gusts between about 20 and 30 miles per hour. Maybe even as high as 40 for spots like Bisbee, Douglas, and Sierra Vista. And that's going to be continuing up until about 4 or 5 o'clock before that starts to back on off. Now, projected rain totals I think are going to be under ½ an inch for most of southern Arizona. If you get a thunderstorm, I could see it over ½ an inch, but it's really going to take a thunderstorm for you to have real significant rain totals here. Now, once we're done with the rain on Thursday, you're still going to have a high temperature right there around 70 degrees, and that's where temperatures are going to be staying throughout most of the upcoming week here. You're looking around 69, 71 to start off next week, and maybe even as high as 75 by the middle of next week, and we're still hanging on to some smaller rain chances that will track for you over the next few days. That was weather. Let's go ahead